Marie Bennett, who I will attempt to bring back in shortly. My name is Dave Burke. I am the host of the Dave and Marie Show. Marie Bennett is my co-host. Marie was a 21-year pro network marketer, made millions of dollars in the business, retired at a very young age, is an expert in in these home-based businesses and what's going on with Zeek. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed with exactly what's going on with Zeek, and we will be bringing Marie back in, hopefully, shortly when we move past the Zeek update segment. So again, my name is Dave Burke. I am not related to Paul Burks. My name ends with an E, not with an S, and we're not related at all whatsoever. So regarding Zeek, I know a lot of you came into Zeek, and it was a great home-based business for each and every one of you. As most of you know, Zeek was shut down by the SEC. We won't go into the details of that, but more specifically into what's exactly happening right now. So what's happening right now, as a lot of you already know, Kenneth Bell was appointed the receiver for Zeek, and his efforts are to capture as much of those assets as possible to return them to the distributors in Zeek. The preliminary analysis has identified more than 800,000 affiliate user IDs who put more money into Rex Venture than they took out. And this is key. What they want to do is return everybody's money back. What that means is they're going after the people who made money in order to make others whole. They estimate that losses will be between 500 million and 600 million. They've already recovered 300 million and continue to pursue millions more held in financial institutions. To fill the gap between what he says we have recovered and what victims lost, we will pursue recovery from those who took out of Rex Ventures more than they put in. There are more than 100,000 people in this category, representing hundreds of millions of dollars. So in this statement that Kenneth Bell issued, it became very clear that they are going to attempt to recover funds from anybody who actually profited from Zeek. At the time of this statement, it was October 30th, and they were to issue 1,200 subpoenas to affiliates who profited from Zeek. So it was just the first round of subpoenas. The subpoenas asked for financial information, including dealings with Rex Ventures, depositions, and litigation. So what's going to happen is they're going to be gathering the financial information through subpoenas on those who made money from Zeek in order to try to create a settlement as specified in a statement. With each subpoena will be a letter offering to negotiate voluntary surrender of profits, victims' money really, instead of going to court. So they're asking for the Zeek distributors who made money to turn over that money immediately, and if not, you don't have the money, they need to settle. Additional subpoenas and demands for return of profits will be served on thousands more in the weeks to come. So they're preparing these subpoenas to eventually subpoena all 100,000 Zeek distributors who actually profited from it and try to recover as much money as possible. He says he can't tell you he'll recover all the money, but we don't want to be for lack of trying. So the real good news here is that, which is in the next part of his statement, was that people are going to start receiving money probably back in the form of a refund sooner than later. Initially, the thought was, having to go through this process of trying to recover money, that they would try to recover money from each one of those 100,000 Zeek distributors before they decided who was going to get what. So as soon as we are able, Kenneth Bell states, they will submit to the court for approval an official claim form. Once approved, the form will be posted on the receivership website. When that process has run, we're going to ask the court for permission to make a preliminary partial distribution to qualified claimants from recovered funds. A final distribution will have to wait until we have finished collecting all recoverable assets. This, unfortunately, will take quite a while, and he appreciates your support and patience. So what you want to really do is keep an eye, and if you look at the bottom, we took the statement right from the Zeek Resorts receivership.com website. We also have it posted on our updates website, exactly what they're saying. So you can look at that. There's also an FAQ on our website regarding the subpoenas and exactly the process for that. And the receivership is receiving tons of emails, and a lot of you are asking if you should hire an attorney or not, and no one is of any stature is advising you either way of whether or not you should hire an attorney. That should be a decision on your own. What he does say is that his direction from the court and his duty to you and each one of us is to seize all recoverable assets and distribute them to victims as fully and as fairly as possible. So again, we also posted up on our website the Zeek Rewards receivership information, so feel free to go ahead and go there as you wish and keep updated. We're going to be emailing you and doing additional webinars on the updates for those that can't seem to find the information, so that you can stay informed as what you need to do and when you need to do it in relationship to receiving your Zeek Rewards refund. Now, again, this is the website, and a lot of you guys know it. We're going to keep that updated. As we're constantly following the court's process, any statements from Kenneth Bell, and any other movements outside of that. So that is the end of the Zeek Rewards update.
Dave,
yes. Yep.
let's just go back a second, if we may. Okay.
I didn't know you were there. It's great to have you back.
All right. So first of all, my name is Marie Bennett, and what typically happens on these webinars is that people come on late, and they miss some of the information at the beginning. And I've been watching the numbers as people have been coming on, and a lot of people have come on late tonight. So I'd like to go back and just reiterate and maybe explain in more plain terms, or in maybe terms that are a little bit easier to understand exactly what's going on right now. Now, we all know that Zeek was shut down by the SEC. So today, I had somebody that contacted me and said, well, can't we contact the SEC and tell them they made a mistake? And unfortunately, that's not something that's going to happen. Paul Burke, okay, who got Zeek up and running and started, as I think most people on the line realize tonight, has actually signed off and allowed the SEC to come in and close down the company. So now the next question that I get on a regular basis is, and the reason I'm getting these questions and the reason Dave is getting these questions is we both have a lot of experience in business, and I have a tremendous amount of experience in the network marketing industry in general. I've been around the industry for 22 years. I've done incredibly well, mostly because I've been in the right place at the right time with great companies, with solid companies, with viable products, and amazing management teams. And so I've been around. A lot of my friends contacted me and said, well, would you like to get involved with Zeek? And I turned down the opportunity. A lot of my friends started calling me after Zeek shut down, wondering what they could do, and I was at a bit of a loss. So I started following and tracking through government sites and through news sites what was happening. So a lot of people are saying, well, what's going on with Zeek coming back? So the bottom line is no, the SEC has shut it down. Paul Burke signed off on that happening. Somebody said to me, well, doesn't he want to clear his name? Well, I'm guessing he probably would like to, but he signed off. He just signed off and said, okay, shut the company down. The next thing that people are asking me is, well, I put in $1,000, or I put in $5,000, or I put in $10,000, and I made nothing. So if that's the case, you probably are going to be able to recoup at least part of that quote-unquote investment. You're probably going to be in a situation where you can get back part of that money. Maybe not all of it, but at least some of it. Now, when is a question that we're all watching, and I'm anxious for a lot of people. I know people in their 90s that put in every penny they had. I know people that didn't really even have the money to invest and never dreamt that they wouldn't get that money back. Okay, so now again, I was not involved. Dave Burke was not involved. He just happened to share a similar last name. Again, my name is Marie Bennett. I've been around the industry for 22 years, and it breaks my heart when something like this happens. When a company goes out of business that calls itself a network marketing company, it gives the whole industry of network marketing, the whole home-based business industry, a bad name. So again, if you were somebody that put in more money than you were able to pull out, chances are good that you're going to get back at least part of that. Now, we don't know when. Has to do with the government and the SEC, so we would kind of guess it won't be immediately, but it does look like you will get some money back. If you're somebody that had maybe $1,000 above and beyond what you put in, or maybe you had $100,000 above and beyond what you put in there sitting and looking like it was going to come to you, then unfortunately you are not going to get that money. You're not going to be paid out. And people are still expecting that. They're not understanding what they're reading online. So one of the reasons we're doing this webinar is to let people know that, unfortunately, no, you're not going to get back money that was above and beyond what you put in. That's a pipe dream. That's done. Now, as Dave just went through and read to you, it looks like from the receiver, who is Kenneth D. Bell, who is a government-appointed receiver, that anybody that made money above and beyond what they put in is likely going to be, and maybe they've already received, a subpoena, and there's actually going to be the attempt to claw back that money. So there's a lot of people that made money that are really concerned that maybe they don't have that money to pay back, and they're looking for a way perhaps to make some more money to replace that money so they are able to pay back that money when the government comes knocking on their door and says, okay, we expect that you're going to pay back that money above and beyond that you put above and beyond what you put in, that you're going to be able to pay it back. So there's a lot of people that are really scared right now because they don't have the money that they made above and beyond what they put in. They're not in a position to be able to pay it back. So what Dave and I have found is there's really a couple different kinds of people. There's people that are just feeling really totally burned out, and really they should be sad about this. I'm sad for everybody that put money in and lost money. There are people that, were counting on getting money. I'm hearing horrible stories about people that were expecting to be able to pull out money to pay for an education or to pay off some bills or maybe to pay for a surgery that's desperately needed. That money is not coming. That money that maybe is above and beyond what you put in that you're expecting to get is not coming. And as Dave started to say, that's pretty well what's out there right now. As we hear about more things, we will interpret, we will give you our interpretation of it. You can certainly go online, you can go to our website, you can call us and ask us questions, and we'll help you to the best of our ability, interpret that information. If you're still unclear after, the beginning part of this compensation plan, or the beginning part of this, you can tell I'm a network marketer, the beginning part of this presentation, then don't be shy. Ask questions, and we'll do our best to get you the information. Now, again, neither Dave nor I were involved with Zeek, and we hope that we've provided you some value with the first part of this presentation. Okay? Dave and I